First, let me preface by saying, excuse my drawings. My parents didn't support my venture into art school. So here we start with a problem of adverse possession. We'll go to the first block and look at the land in dispute. So we have A's land and we have B's land. However, there's land in between that's in question as to who owns it. A says this is his. However, B argues that it's his land. The reasoning behind their arguments: A says he's always used the land and he's used it for growing crops for 20 years. However, B argues the property is his because he has title to the land. We go down and here's where the conflict arises. A says he's going to continue to use the land. However, B says he's going to take A to court. Now we've gone to court. The plaintiff, which is B, says it's his property because he has title and he wants defendant off his land. However, A argues it's his land because of adverse possession. The judge now asks the defendant to prove his adverse possession. The defendant says, "Your Honor, my possession was continuous, hostile, open and notorious, actual, and exclusive." Let's take a closer look at defendant's argument. Defendant's argument: continuous. He used the land for 20 years and no breaks. It was hostile. He did not have title and knew it wasn't his. He didn't have permission from the true owner. It was open, notorious. Defendant used the land for 20 years to grow crops and fenced it in, so the true owner would have seen that this land was being used by someone else. Actual. Defendant used the land in a way that the true owner would. The defendant was growing crops for 20 years, used the land to its capability. Exclusive. Plaintiff did not come onto the land, meaning the true owner was not allowed on the land, and the defendant excluded others that would reasonably be excluded from the land. Now we jump back to court. The judge, mulling over the argument, says the statutory period for adverse possession requires at least 10 years. How long was the defendant on the land? The defendant says he was on there for 20 years. If you look over at the plaintiff, B, he's still arguing that he has title. Now we jump to the judgment. The judge, because of defendant's facts and plaintiff's lack of use of land as that of a reasonable owner, he awards defendant land under the adverse possession. Defendant is very happy. Plaintiff, not so much. So this is a brief overview of a dispute that could arise from adverse possession, and a reminder to landowners to always remember to check their land just in case someone's using it without their permission, because this too could happen to them.